Thank you all for joining and spending your Wednesday evening with us. So we're here with the lovely Sarah, founder of award-winning brand by Sarah, and she's going to take us through some tips and tricks for sensitive skin, and then also hopefully have a nice little relaxing massage at the end. So hopefully you'll have your products with you. If you have any questions about the products or the range, please do pop them in the chat and we will get to them throughout the class. But I'm going to hand over now to Sarah. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and you'll get to see her face instead of staring at mine.
Thank you, Catherine, and hi to everyone. I am Sarah, co-founder of By Sarah London. And what I'd love to do, if you're happy to flick your camera on just for a few minutes, I'd love to just get a sense of how your skin is feeling. So if you're happy just to raise your hand if you have sensitive skin, that would just give me a really good flavour of how many of you would describe your skin as sensitive skin. I'd also love to know, and feel free to pop this in the chat function as well, whether you really struggle with sensitive skin and whether you really struggle to find skincare to help your skin. And then I'd also love to know whether you have had the chance yet to try your By Sarah London skincare. So if there are any cameras on that can give me a raise of the hand if you do have sensitive skin. Otherwise, feel free to pop into the chat function how your skin is feeling. And I really want this session to be interactive. So let me know how your skin is feeling. Let me know how I can help you. And at the end, I'll answer all your questions. But for those of you that perhaps don't know me or perhaps don't know By Sarah London, our story is a very personal one. So if I give you first a brief background to who I am. So I am Sarah, I am the co-founder of By Sarah London, and I have a career spanning about 15 years in the beauty industry. I've worked for some of the big beauty conglomerates, from Estee Lauder to Unilever to L'Oreal, and I've also studied skin function, skin type, and the skin microbiome. But the By Sarah London story began really with my sister's personal story. And thank you to everyone that's leaving some comments in the chat function. That's really, really helpful. And I'll make sure I come to your questions throughout the session. So By Sarah London is inspired by my sister Lauren's recovery from leukemia. And at the time, her skin was very sensitive, very reactive. The cancer treatment had made her skin very, very sore. And as Lauren, who's my sister, Lauren's skin really started to change, I was witnessing firsthand how fragile and how sensitive her skin was becoming through that cancer treatment. And as Lauren's stem cell donor and her older sister, I really wanted to do everything I possibly could to help my sister Lauren. So I turned to formulating restorative skincare to help soothe Lauren's very sensitive skin. Fast forward a few years, Lauren got through her cancer treatment, she got through her recovery, and we brought the blends that I had originally developed for Lauren to the market, and we launched By Sarah London together in November 2017. So it's been a really quite an incredible journey for us both personally as sisters, but also professionally in launching a business. We have an incredible customer base, lots of wonderful customers. I think we've got a few customers who have joined tonight, so thank you very much for joining and taking the time. And we have some celebrity fans, from Deliciously Ella to Louise Rowe, Kelly Eastwood, Alex Jones, and many more. Our hero facial oil, which you hopefully all have to hand, and we'll use that to enjoy some facial massage a bit later. But the hero facial oil was the very first blend I formulated for my sister Lauren. It's our hero blend because it's the original. It was the original restorative blend that soothed and healed Lauren's skin, and it's been awarded Best Facial Oil in the Beauty Shortlist Awards every year since its launch. So it really is a cult favourite, and I'm really, really delighted that you will have the chance to enjoy it. So when it comes to sensitive skin, and I can see that many of you are experiencing sensitive skin. Helen says it's an absolute nightmare. I can empathise, Helen. Colette there is saying that moderately sensitive skin, she tends to react to products, so we can touch on that. We've got some other comments there, that sensitive skin until hitting perimenopausal, it's very, very common, and we can come to that as well. So sensitive skin, how does it happen, and what are you going to get out of this session? So within the next sort of half an hour or so, I'm going to share how sensitive skin can occur, what it feels like, and how you can best manage sensitive skin. Now, in our own personal experience, sensitive skin was caused by medical treatment that my sister Lauren was going through for cancer. But sensitive skin can also be triggered by our environment, by our lifestyle, and also some skincare products. So if perhaps you're prone to overexfoliation, over cleansing, using scrubs, that can of course make your skin very sensitive. And sensitive skin can manifest in different ways. And what happens typically when our skin is described as sensitive is our skin barrier is weakened. So what's happened is our skin barrier is allowing skin irritants to infiltrate, those irritants that shouldn't be allowed to penetrate our skin are absorbed into the skin, and our skin is unable to lock in the moisture. So we have a compromised skin barrier. What also happens is that our skin microbiome, which is an ecosystem of bacteria that lives on the skin, becomes unbalanced. And the skin microbiome is a really, really important and a really fascinating area of skin science, because what we're starting to uncover is that our skin microbiome dictates the health and immunity of our skin. So if we have an unbalanced skin microbiome where we're not getting enough diversity of healthy flora, healthy microbes, our skin can then present symptoms of dryness, itchiness, dehydration, and just generally feeling a bit uncomfortable. You may also present skin inflammatory conditions. So skin inflammatory conditions are common conditions such as eczema or psoriasis. I noted one of you did mention psoriasis in the chat there. You may also experience rosacea. Now, each of those skin conditions are presented where there is an unbalanced skin microbiome, but also where our skin barrier has been compromised. So it's really important that we're recognizing whether there are any lifestyle, environmental, or skincare products that are contributing to the way that our skin is behaving, and doing a bit of analysis, doing a bit of research on our own to help understand how we can best care for the skin. So what I'll touch on now are just three simple tips that I always recommend to help care for sensitive skin. The first is to be very gentle with your skincare. So when we overlayer our skin with lots of different types of formulas and actives, it can actually do the opposite of what we're trying to do, in the fact that it can actually compromise our skin health and our skin barrier. So our skin is an incredible system. It has a self-regulating and restorative and renewal process. And really what we need to be doing with our skin is supporting our skin's natural restorative processes rather than manipulating them. So in being really gentle with your skincare, what I mean by that is not overlayering the skin with lots of different types of formulas, avoiding the temptation to overexfoliate, over-cleanse. And for any of you that might have been using retinol-based products or even AHAs and BHAs, so ingredients such as salicylic acid, glycolic acid, they can at times be a little too much for sensitive skin. So that's my first tip, is just really recognizing whether there's anything that you might be doing that might be aggravating the skin. My second tip is to be consistent. So our skin loves consistency. And as I mentioned, our skin has a natural cell renewal process, which is happening every 28 to 40 days. So we want to support that process. We don't want to over aggravate the skin. We want to make sure that we're using skincare that is consistent, that's supporting our skin health, and we're avoiding that temptation just to use too much or trying bits and pieces here and there. And certainly I would give your skincare at least 4 to 6 weeks before you're thinking about changing things up. So my third tip then is to be streamlined. Now this has many, many benefits. When you are very intentional with your skincare and you're very curated with your approach to skincare, this is not only going to benefit your skin health, but it's going to benefit our planet, because what we want to make sure of is that we are not overloading our bathroom cabinets, but we're also not overloading our planet. So being really streamlined does not mean cutting things out or cutting back, but instead it means looking for products that are hard-working, multitasking formulas. So you're getting what you need in one particular product rather than having to consume 2 to 3. So do let me know in the chats below how many products you might typically use of a morning, of an evening. There's no right or wrong answer. But I think once you'll find that when you switch to a much more streamlined skincare routine, it's so much more enjoyable. It sort of frees you from the excess of stuff that we tend to end up with and we don't finish. But it also means that you're really, really being very considered with how you're caring for the skin. And the By Sarah London approach to skincare is just that. It's about being very, very considered, very curated, very streamlined, so that you know each and every single ingredient is there for the health of your skin. So if you have sensitive skin, the most important thing is about rebuilding that skin barrier. And that's where a curated approach is really important, so you can really identify you're using the correct skincare products to strengthen that skin barrier. So thank you, Raz. You're using 3 products in the morning and 6 in the evening. Wow, 6 is quite a lot. I'd love to know what exactly you're using. Tanya's using 4. Well, this might surprise you, but at By Sarah London, we suggest just using 3. Now, the reason being is that each of our plant-based formulations that are each driven by science are multitasking. So they have various functionalities. So it means you're really getting considerable efficacy and value out of just one particular product. The one thing to note that is important for sensitive skin is that with the By Sarah London collection, we don't use any fragrance and we don't use any essential oils. Now, fragrance and essential oils are sometimes quite typically found in skincare in the natural space, but they can actually be real skin irritants. And my sister Lauren is particularly reactive to essential oils, even today, even beyond her cancer treatment. So we really make sure that when we formulate, we're formulating with that sensitive skin in mind. And my sister Lauren is our in-house guinea pig even today. So we are in the middle of launching a new product later this autumn. And Lauren has been testing the different versions of formulas that I've been developing. She did in fact react to one particular ingredient a few months ago as part of the testing, and that particular ingredient has since been taken out and we've reworked the formula. But we are really, really considered and intentional with each and every formulation to make sure that even the most sensitive of skins can really, really benefit. So many of our customers come to By Sarah London for that reason. They're looking for efficacy, simplicity, a brand that they can trust wholeheartedly, a brand that they're going to love. And the other thing to note about the By Sarah London collection is that we have a full ingredient list on the front label. Now, a full ingredient list just gives you that added confidence, that added reassurance that you know exactly what you're giving your skin. And as I mentioned, with sensitive skin, we really want to be mindful that we are using the right products for our skin. So I can see here in the chat function, thank you, Raz, who has just shared that a cleanser, a moisturizer, sun protection, I would imagine that's for the morning, and then using an evening cleanser, a moisturizer, and a variety of serums. So if you are looking to curate, to really streamline your skincare routine, and if you are looking for simplicity with your routine, then By Sarah London is a great place to start, because as I've said, all of our formulas are really hardworking and they're multitasking. So if you also experience sensitive acne skin, sensitive dry skin, you'll benefit from each of the blends. So the 3-step routine that I would recommend if you are again looking to streamline your routine but still achieve the same results, still achieve the efficacy of the products that you're enjoying, is a simple 3-step at By Sarah London, and you've all received 2 of the products already, and I hope you've had a chance to try them. Let me know in the chat if you do have any questions about the 2 products that you've received, but you'll all recognize this one. So this is our Balancer Oil to Milk Cleanser. Now this is a really beautiful cleanser. Do let me know if you've already had a chance to try it. But what is lovely about this cleanser, unlike cleansers that can be a foaming cleanser, for example, even a gel cleanser sometimes cleansers can feel very abrasive on sensitive skin. With an oil cleanser, you'll notice the texture is silk-like. It's so delicate, it glides onto the skin, it's going to whisk everything away. And with this particular formulation, I've added a plant-based emulsifier so that when you're massaging the oil into your skin, you're working it around the eyes to remove mascara, you're then going to splash your face with a little bit of water, and the product will transform into a cleansing milk. So this is going to really whisk everything away. But what's important for sensitive skin is it's not going to disrupt your skin's pH balance. It's going to keep everything in harmony. And again, a full ingredient list on the front label here at the front, so you know exactly what you're giving your skin. Now, you can enjoy this both morning and night. For sensitive skin, I would still suggest cleansing both morning and night. Our skin is hard at work when we sleep, and we also accumulate quite a lot of toxins in the day. So even if you're not wearing makeup, I would suggest cleansing at night. Double cleanse is a great question. Thank you, Colette. So double cleansing very much depends on a couple of things. So if you've been wearing makeup during the day, if you've been wearing sunscreen during the day, I would suggest a double cleanse, and you can double cleanse with the same product. So what I might do, for example, if I've been wearing makeup and sunscreen, I live in London, so if I've also been out in the city and I'm exposed to a lot of pollution, then I will double cleanse with this product by doing a quick initial cleanse and to remove any mascara, and then a second slightly more deeper cleanse just to make sure I'm removing both oil soluble and water soluble skin debris. So that includes sort of excess sweat, any makeup, but also any pollution, any daily grime. So certainly you can double cleanse with the same product. And you'll find with this type of cleanser that a little goes a really long way. The other thing to note is that each of the By Sarah London blends do not contain water. So the products have not been diluted in any way. Their integrity is so pure that you really truly are benefiting from each and every plant oil. So that will be your first step, is the balancer, and hopefully you can all enjoy that one tonight after this masterclass. The second step would be to hydrate the skin. So you want to think about cleansing, hydrating, and then replenishing, and I'll come on to that bit next. So with your second step, it's about adding moisture to the skin. So as we age, our skin's ability to retain moisture naturally decreases. So we want to make sure we're replenishing that moisture loss. And with the Reviver Hydrating Mist, hopefully you can all see that there. this is the second step after cleansing your skin. So I actually have this on my desk throughout the day, and I'll be spritzing throughout the day just to enjoy that. And it instantly awakens the skin. Brilliant for sensitive skin because there are no fragrance, there are no essential oils, and we've actually chosen a fantastic plant in here called the desert rose. It's not associated with the rose that you might think of that smells lovely. It doesn't have a scent at all. The desert rose is is actually known as the resurrection plant because it grows in extremely hot climates, but it has this miraculous ability to retain moisture. So that's what this product is doing for your skin. It's helping your skin retain moisture, but it's also attracting moisture to the skin like a magnet. So that's your moisture step. Your final step is then about replenishing your skin with all the essential omegas, the vitamins, the minerals, and the lipids to keep that skin barrier really strong. So you'll hear now I'm talking a lot about the skin barrier, and that's because with sensitive skin, our skin barrier has been compromised. So we want to really help strengthen that skin barrier, keep it really strong, but also support that skin microbiome so that we're building our skin's resilience, we're building our skin health, and we're also building our skin's immunity. So what I'd love us all to do now, if you have your hero facial oil to hand, so this is the facial oil here, we're going to enjoy some facial massage. Now, facial massage is fantastic for many reasons. It's going to boost your skin's elasticity. It's going to promote circulation, boost lymphatic flow. But also it's an extremely meditative ritual. It's something that I enjoy every evening, and it is a fantastic way to quiet busy thoughts, to calm the nervous system, to regulate your breathing, and also keep on top of your cortisol levels, those stress levels. So just make sure that our hormone levels are balanced. So what I'd love to do now is we're going to take a few drops of the facial oil. I haven't done this before, but I'm going to pop on some music. So we've got a little bit of background music, and I just ask for you just to follow my lead. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do some facial massage. Just follow my lead. If you have any questions throughout, please pop your questions into the chat function. This will be about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll have 5 minutes for a quick Q&A at the end. So I'm going to get this music on, and hopefully do let me know in the chat if you can't hear it. So let's take a couple of drops of our facial oil. You can start, you can see here it's a beautiful consistency, and I'm going to start with 3. You start at the neck. We're just running along the jaw here and just hugging the ear as we go. And then just hugging the ear as we go. Really working into that jawline, easing away any tension. If you're finding the music a bit distracting, let me know. The reason that we're working at the neck here is because we have some really important muscles here at the side of our neck. And you might find that if you get a bit of tension at the back of your head, or you find your neck can be a bit stiff, this is brilliant. Just working into this neck muscle here, just really deeply working your way here. And you're also boosting the lymphatic system here. So we have some lymphatic nodes that are based here. So we're just really working quite deeply, and I've got quite firm pressure here as I'm working into the neckline. So we're going to come back up to the jaw. We're just running the fingers across the jaw. So we've got a peace sign here, and that's how we work up into the jaw. I'm going to keep going like that. I'm going to work up now, and we're working up into the forehead. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take 3 fingertips and just push the forehead gently upwards. This is great at alleviating any tension that you might be feeling in the forehead. I think once all of us could speak to looking at our phones all day or looking at our screens on the computers, this is really fantastic. Just working this muscle in the forehead, just easing away any tension. Then we're going to work into the forehead, so pushing in like this. And then we're just working out at the sides, the temples. Again, with 3 fingers, quite firm pressure. Great. And as you do that, really lift. This is a mini facelift. We're going to lift right into the hairline. Okay, then we're going to take the pads of these fingers, so these fingers here, and we're going to enjoy some circular motions around the eyes. Just going to follow my lead, going around the eye area. So no need for an eye cream. You can enjoy the facial oil around the eye area just like this. And you'll feel, this is the eye bone that we're following here. So just following this eye orbital bone, and we're just enjoying some gentle massage. First thing in the morning, this is a great one to do just to awaken the eye area. You're going to pat and press now along the eye bone. Again, we're using this fingertip here. And the same side. Do both sides now. We do this first thing in the morning. This will help with any tired eyes, any dark circles, any puffy eyes. Just tap, 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 tap along the eye orbital bone. Okay, let's stick with the eye area. Let's just lightly flick again with these fingertips, lightly flicking upwards and outwards. And the other side. Great, let's bring our fingers to our temples. Let's just hold there for a second. And let's do some gentle circles. I'm using these 2 fingertips, just to work deeply into those temples. Again, we're working into a muscle that works really hard for us throughout the day. Great. Let's come down to our ears. And with the peace sign, let's hug the ears as we were doing when we were here and working up into the jaw. Let's just. Let's go back down to the neck. The other side. Great. And then we're just going to hold here. Now, what I recommend after each facial massage practice is just resting your fingers, just your fingertips very gently, just here. And just allow yourself to take some deep breaths. And use this time to really get a sense of how your body is feeling. Is the energy frenetic? Are you breathing heavily? Is your heart beating? And just tune into those emotions. Recognize how you're feeling. And just start to relax. Start to do some deep breathing that's going to calm the nervous system. Drop those shoulders right down. and breathe. So I hope you all enjoyed that mini facial massage. Facial massage is truly fantastic. You can enjoy it both morning and night. There's no right or wrong way to enjoy it. This evening I was focusing particularly on the neck area, the jaw, as we hold a lot of tension in those zones, but also working into our forehead to alleviate tension and working around the eye area. So no need for eye creams. You can double up with the Hero facial oil, use that both morning and night, following the orbital bone as your guide. And remember to pat, 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 tap, 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 to stimulate lymphatic flow and to stimulate and awaken that eye area. So I think now would be a great time to get into some of your questions. Tanya, thank you for your questions. We don't have a YouTube channel yet, but we are on Instagram @BySarahLondon, and we do have a number of videos on our IGTV channel. So at the end of this masterclass, come on over to Instagram. If you're on Instagram, come over to @BySarahLondon, drop me a DM and I'll send you some videos from our IGTV channel. I do want to go back to some of the questions, some of the comments that came through at the beginning of the chat, just to make sure I'm not neglecting anybody. So I've got a comment here about psoriasis and rosacea. So psoriasis and rosacea can be managed. That's the good news. And what we have learned and what scientific research is showing us is that typically with those types of inflammatory skin conditions, our environment and our internal DNA and makeup is driving those changes in the skin. And it could be that certainly for some of our By Sarah London customers, they've enjoyed wonderful skin, and then they go through a life change, whether that's pregnancy, or perhaps there was a trauma or something has happened, and it has changed the makeup of their body, the way the body works, the way the body functions. Now, what we know with rosacea and psoriasis is that typically with both those skin conditions, they are at their worst when exposed to extremities. So things like being too hot, too cold, spicy foods. So with that type of skin concern, what I recommend is always starting with an evaluation of your lifestyle, your environment, and your food types, because what we do know is that our nervous system really heavily dictates our hormones, how our skin behaves. So if we're able to keep our nervous system in a state of balance where our cortisol levels aren't continuously spiked or our insulin levels are at a healthy level, our skin will respond positively in turn. And we also know that when we have a healthy gut microbiome, so the sort of diversity of microbes and flora that live within our gut, when that's good, when that's healthy, our skin is also healthy. So it takes quite a bit of work when you're initially diagnosed to see what types of factors largely contribute to the way that your skin is behaving. And then with your skincare, being as gentle and as kind to yourself. It's a journey, it takes time, but it is possible that it can be managed. And when you're choosing beautiful plant oil blends like By Sarah London, you know that you're going to strengthen your skin health, you're going to strengthen that skin barrier. And certainly we have wonderful reviews and comments from customers of ours that previously had experienced terrible rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, and have found a sense of relief with By Sarah London. So if you'd like to find out a little bit more, come on over to Instagram after this masterclass By Sarah London, and we'll have a chat. So I'm really happy to help. Let's see if there are any other questions here. Please feel free to keep asking me questions. We've only got about 5 minutes left together. I can see here that for some of you, perimenopausal, menopausal, very, very common that the skin is going to change during this time. For some women, we've seen that the skin can become increasingly dry. For other women, we've seen that the skin can become more oily and blemish prone. So again, it's very much about the individual, and knowing yourself, knowing your skin, and being able to identify what triggers are contributing to the way that your skin is behaving. But certainly if your skin is on the more sensitive or the dry side, you want to look for formulations, ideally plant oil formulations, that are free from any skin irritants. So free from fragrance, free from essential oils, and really looking for other sort of your wider, looking at your wider product usage in the home. So things like your detergents, your shampoos, your conditioners, your shower gels, soaps, looking at whether they are also aggravating the skin, making your skin perhaps a little bit more dry or a little bit more sensitive. And as we move into the chillier months in the autumn, winter, something I do always recommend to our By Sarah London customers is to make sure that your home is really well ventilated, even when it's cold. So keep some ventilation going throughout the home. A humidifier might also be necessary if you do have dry skin, making sure that from a more holistic point of view, you're well hydrated, you're moving your body, so you're stimulating lymphatic flow, you're also eating good foods, so water-rich foods, upping your intake of spinach, of broccoli. Broccoli is a fantastic source of vitamin C. It's, you know, Brussels sprouts as well. Brussels sprouts are not just for Christmas Day, they are a fantastic source of vitamin C. So as we're thinking about moving into the autumn, winter, we're thinking about building our resilience to immunity, keeping ourselves healthy and well. It's very much about a holistic approach, particularly if you have sensitive skin, and you may also have a slightly more sensitive disposition, in the sense that, you know, you might experience other allergies. We know that with sensitive skin, along comes hay fever and other types of allergies. So if that sounds familiar, now is a great time to start getting your home environment ready, thinking about the foods you're going to enjoy over the chillier months, and the skincare that you're going to really embrace to help keep your skin supple, healthy and strong. I'm going to have a final look at the chat function here. What do we think about facial jade rollers for sensitive skin? Yeah, I mean, there again, if you have any facial tools at home and you love them, keep going. The reason I love to use my hands is that it allows for an immediate connection with the skin. You know, the fingers are able to touch the skin. When we touch the skin, we're boosting the happy hormones, we're boosting oxytocin. So I like to experience that deeper connection and really just also get a sense of how my skin is feeling. My day tends to be very busy, and I'm in lots of meetings, and I'll be talking a lot, and you know, I might find I'm holding a bit of tension in my jaw, which is why of an evening I'll really love to use my hands and my fingertips to work those muscles into my neck, to work deeply into my jawline, and just to help to alleviate any tension. Final look, and then I think we are about to wrap up for the evening. Please do let me know if you do have any skincare questions. I think we're about to wrap up, so all I would say is to all of you, thank you so much for joining this evening. I really do hope there were some helpful nuggets in there. I would love for you to come over to Instagram. We're on Instagram @by Sarah London. You'll receive a follow-up email from us after this, but if you have any other questions, I'm always so happy to help. I'm behind our social media, it's me, so feel free to shoot a DM. I'll always come back to you. I'm always very happy to help. And we'd also love to offer you all a 20% discount off your next By Sarah London order. The code is GLOW20, so that's GLOW20. If you have any questions, please do let me know, but I can see Catherine is back, so I'm going to say thank you very much for having me, and hopefully see you all again soon.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And yeah, just kind of follow up on that. We will also be sending the recording to all of you, so for all of the facial massage you can like maybe just watch that snippet if you want to do it again. Feeling like my face is very shiny and smooth after using the oil. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletters for any future masterclasses, and if you have any questions for Sarah, obviously go give their Instagram a follow, and I'm sure she'll be happy to help you, or if you have any questions about any products or anything like that. And yeah, we'll be sending the code as a reminder tomorrow so that you can repurchase anything or buy anything else from the range that you'd like. Thanks everyone.